From the beginning, we were wrong. And only now, well into the second decade of the conflict, have we begun to understand the mistakes we have made. We lived in harmony among the Fae, in a world awakened to new magic. Perhaps we should have foreseen what might be born on this rising tide. What force might awaken. A force powerful enough to twist even the eternal and immutable Fae folk. But Gadflow, the new king of the Winter Court, surprised us all. Singular among his people, he was all that other Fae were not. Aggressive, ambitious, visionary. He had power like none we had ever seen, terrible and deadly. Gadflow and his followers, the Tuatha Deon, believed that a new god was to be born in the east, beneath Gadflow's crystalline fortress of Amathen. In the name of that god, they marched to war against the young races of Amalur. Against a mortal army, no matter the power of their god, we might have been victorious. But the Fae are creatures of magic, not bound by the laws of life and death. Each Tuatha fallen on the battlefield would soon rise again, for the Fae do not know death as we do. How could we stand against such a force? For 10 years the war raged. For 10 years the armies of Men and Alpha fought and died. But as our numbers dwindled, we knew that it was only a matter of time. Our fate had been written. At least, that is what we believed. Until you died.
What do you think this one is then? Alpha? Garan? Could even be a Jotun. Always a surprise, eh, Garan?
Eyes on the job, boy. Don't matter what it is. Dead's dead. And be thankful for that. All we've seen. Go on and pull back the sheet, though. It'll need to be in our report, one way or the other.
Alright, hello and welcome to Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. I am Simulacrum and here we are in the character creation screen. And yeah, seems like the world is on fire and war is eternal. So we need a new hero to save the world. And that's us. First of all, let's look at our choices here. We have to choose a gender. I don't actually like this dude, he looks a bit douchebaggy. So we'll go with the woman character here. She looks much better, it's quite a body. And what comes to the different races we can select, we have a Dokulfar, Yolsafar, Varani and Almani. You really don't have too many choices in this. And the only difference as far as I know is actually those racial bonuses. Like Persuasion, Stealth, Sagecraft. I would like to go with the Almani, not just because of the racial bonuses, which are Blacksmithing and Alchemy, which are pretty good, all in all, but also because she looks the prettiest. I'm kinda leaning towards that. So next, we have to choose a deity, or a god, or some kind of spirit for ourselves. We have the option of selecting none, which then we have no god, but we get 1% of experience bonus. And then there's Justice, there is Order, War, Wisdom, and Fire. So that depends which you want. If you want to be completely a mage character or some kind of sorceress, then you might go with Wisdom. It gives you 10% more mana. But I like Health as well. I'm gonna be tanking a bit. You never know when you might be taking damage. So I think I will be going with order. Next we have a preset. The rest of these presets are, yeah, they are not really much for me. I'll go with preset 1, the one we had here in the beginning, and take a side picture. I'm not going to be changing too much. This is not like Skyrim or some other games where you have really much to say about your looks, really. But the thing you can do is go down with the skin color to a bit more tan, healthy look right there. And lipstick, let's go down, some good choice here. This looks a bit sluttish maybe, I don't know, but it's good. I like women with that kind of lipstick, it's good. Then we have the hairstyle. You can see there are a few different ones, but as in Skyrim and other games, you really don't get too many different looks right there. So you have to be satisfied with what you got. Next we have the accessories, that's kind of jewelry, so you can have earrings and stuff, and tattoos, tattoo color and intensity. I'm not going to put any tattoos on her because she's kind of a pure woman here. She doesn't need any tattoos. You can also randomize it if you so wish, but I think this is good enough for her right now, so let's confirm.
One of the human women looks Almain to me, and in good shape. These Almain women, wound tighter than a Varani crossbow. Alright then, make sure it goes into the report. You know he'll want all the details.
Amazing how well the body held up. Better than I've seen.
I'm just glad it's not moving. Must have been born under a lucky star, this one.
Anything else we need?
Unless you'd like to name her, I think we're done. Put her with the others.
Put her with the others. Yeah, we should be soon done with the character creation right here, but we still need to name our heroine. Edith? No, she's not gonna be called Edith. Let's give her a proper name, like Eurisha. That sounds nice. That sounds very good, indeed. Too bad we have the crosshair in the cinematic. Nothing I can do about that.
Well, that's it for you then. Better luck next time.
No, don't put me down into the darkness. That is so mean. Oh, we landed on something. Don't even know what. Oh, I can hear flies. Ah, but of course, we landed on a pile of corpses. Well, they did presume that we were dead, so... Oh, but it's disgusting. Gotta get out of here. Quite a large cavern, actually, this place. Plenty of corpses. And also we are bare-feeted, so extra disgusting right there. Oh well. So here we are, limping towards our destiny, towards that wall over there. This is also the place where we will be given control over our character. Let's see, she moves like this, WASD. Very simple controls all in all. There's also a new quest, Out of the Darkness. We have to leave these caverns, which are actually pretty nice, quite pretty. As for the texture quality and the model quality, it could have been better, but I am not complaining. This game works pretty fine. It's very fluid. There are hardly any frame drops whatsoever, not even when recording, so that's always nice. Oh, we can look down there. It's pretty awesome here. Nice and spacious. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Kingdom of Amalur is one of those action RPGs, which for me means at least that it's not too in-depth. It's more about fighting and ability usage. Kind of reminds me of Fable in a way, and also World of Warcraft, but only in a few ways, in the way some characters look and stuff. And maybe also God of War in a smaller sense. But yeah, let's see here, what's on the table. There's something sparkling. Disposal note. Experimental disposal. Secrecy is still important in our work, requiring special disposal of our unfortunate failures. Piling remains have become a concern in the lower caverns, so an incinerator has been added to deal with the wastes. This should make disposal work slightly less horrible, although you should avoid drinking water from downstream of the ash dumps. Hardly a fitting rest for the poor things, but if any consolation, these weren't their original bodies in the first place. Former Zeus. Former Zeus, eh? Seems to be someone in charge of this here facility. Oh, there's an incinerator. Can we activate it? Yeah, we sure can. Dropping the body into the flames to be purified. That's nice. So, let's actually go on here. I'm going to be putting this into 2 parts. This is a very long tutorial section actually. So I don't want kind of a 1-hour video or anything that would be awful to upload. But yeah, we'll see just the good place where we can cut the video. Okay, we have acquired a rusty longsword, and it tells us exactly that. This is our inventory screen right here, and our character screen at the same time. You can see there's our name. We are a faithless one. We haven't chosen any destiny. We have our health bar, our fate bar, and our mana pool, which is 54. We haven't really done anything. And this is our character. She's pretty ragged and dirty, but of course we did die, so that's to be expected, and dumped into a pile of bodies. Then we have the inventory and the quest. As you can see there, when a star flashes above the inventory, that means we have some new items which can be equipped. We go to weapons and primary, and if we double click on the rusty longsword, we equip the weapon. So that's pretty good. Let's move on here into the next chamber here.
They're all over. Run!
Run! That's one of those evil dudes. Arr!
Scatter, children of dust! Scatter before the might of the Tuatha!
Tuatha, yeah, those are the ones in the opening cinematic. So we are in some kind of war. The younger races are getting their asses kicked, and we need someone to save us all. You can also break these crates and barrels. They sometimes yield you some gold coins. Oh, that's very nice. That was part of the tutorial right there. We kill these giant rats. They really have no chance, and we give them no mercy. He actually looks pretty sad, but he has huge teeth right there, back in there. So yeah, if you break barrels or crates, you usually get some gold. More rarely items. I don't think you can get any items. I have played this past the tutorial and quite a way, but I'm not entirely sure about those things. Also something, if you look at the sword right there, it's quite a big sword. Considering that the game says it's a long sword, it looks pretty big, almost like a two-handed in real life. But of course, I'm not complaining. This is a fantasy game, it doesn't need to be realistic. But I have to say that our character, our heroine here, has to be quite strong to do all these things.
Help! Anybody!
Help! Oh, we have to save someone. Probably a gnome, seeing as it was those who dropped me here. Yeah, out of the darkness, rescue the gnome. Let's go down here. You jump down from ledges by using F. And here we have a Tuatha soldier. And in the middle of my swing, we of course get a tutorial tip. Yeah, to dodge. That's pretty simple. You dodge by going into a direction and pressing spacebar like this. And of course, it's pretty useful. And I take plenty of hits because I'm stupid. And there we have our experience bar as well. Gain some experience by killing these Tuatha dudes. This guy's pretty weak. Let's just own him up. There he goes. Fighting is pretty simplistic, all in all. But it does work, and it makes the game a rather pleasurable experience, all in all.
You hadn't come along.
Although it's not too complicated.
I've seen you before. On the slab. You were dead. It worked. By the tome, it worked. You're alive.
You're alive! This is the man who pushed us on the cart, asking questions. Alright, here we have our first dialogue options. I'm not dead. What happened to me?
You died. I don't know how or even where. But your body was remade in the Well of Souls, and somehow it worked. The well restored your soul to your body, and it worked. We must get you to Professor Hughes right away. He'll have questions for you.
Alright, so we don't need to ask who the attackers are. They're obviously Tuatha, the people from the opening cinematic, as I told you. But who is Hughes?
Professor Formerus Hughes. The Well of Souls is his life's work. The Tuatha are coming into the lower levels. If we hurry, we should be able to beat them to the top. Take these. They'll help keep you safe long enough to get to Hughes. Now, let's get going!
Right, we don't need to ask anything else. Where's Hughes? He's always somewhere, and the path will lead us up there. But first, before we go anywhere, we have to do some looting. And something I might as well address here in the beginning, before we go too deep. I'm not sure if I will be making this an entire playthrough. I guess it depends a lot about the feedback, whether or not I get any views on this, if anyone wants to see it. So yeah, and also I'm depending on how much time I had at my hands. I do have work and stuff to do in real life as well, so it always depends. But that is as it will always with people. Oh yeah, so you have acquired armor. Like weapons, armor is equipped from the inventory screen. So let's actually go ahead and go to the inventory screen then. So here's armor, here's our tattered shirt. Let's use the battered armor. Makes us look much better. I like the bra there. It's pretty sweet. We also get worn leggings. Make us look pretty good. We still have no shoes. Well, maybe the floor is quite cold. That doesn't really matter. Here we have a loot chest. Okay, old boots. With that we can actually go ahead and... Okay, we have some more tutorial elements there. So now we're pretty much fully equipped. We still have no helmet or anything. But that doesn't really matter. Yeah. So, moving on, we don't need to be dealing anything more here. Let's just go up towards the Well of the Souls. Or whatever this dude was talking about.
The Well of Souls. Imagine an end to hope. An end to death.
Ooh, looks like a pretty fancy building. But I guess these Tuatha dudes don't really like it. Can't be good. Oh damn, those are mean dudes. Kinda collapsed all the pillars. So breaking the Well of Souls, man. Tuatha are really not too nice fellows. We have to go and kick some. What's here? We have a lever. That's always nice. Getting to the next segment of the tutorial. All of this will be tutorial, so we'll only be getting to the real muster on the meat of the game later on as we proceed here. And now they tell us that we can break objects with our weapons. Well, I already told you. And our next object is to get a shield. But not yet, we still have to do some looting here. Break all these crates. We really don't respect people's property. In that sense. I'm still wondering why I get too little gold. That's strange. Let's loot this chest. Flimsy greaves, lockpick. All nice and dandy stuff here. Lockpicks are going to be useful later on in the game as we get out of this establishment here and do some other things. Okay, I did get bigger amounts of gold. Loot chest, gloves, coin, yeah, all kinds of stuff. Pretty much need to take up everything here in the beginning. And if we end up with anything that is not very useful, we'll just render it later when we find someone who's selling stuff. Here you can also see actually we have an inventory limit, so we don't want to be picking up too many things right there. But there are certain items which we can purchase later on in the game which will increase our space here. We also get a stash and stuff. Here's the items. We also have consumables, which are our minor healing potions right now. I could actually show you about the one thing here. If you press tab, you get to the item radial, and this allows to pretty much use quick slots. I'll just run over those. When you press 2, you can go ahead and double click on a minor healing potion, and now we have it here in our quick use area. But if you want, you can just press R on the keyboard, which is the quick key for healing yourself. Pretty much uses any potion you have in your inventory. But first, let's go and equip a pair of gloves. That's always good. You can also see our total armor rating right there, and the durability of our items. Flimsy greaves, they don't really fit us all that well, but They give us more armor, so I'm okay for that. And also we get a crude iron kite shield. With that we can actually block attacks finally. We could do that even before, but yeah. If you press left shift, then you block. That's pretty basic. I won't be doing too much blocking here in the beginning at least, because you don't need to. It's most about slashing and doing stuff. This game is in many ways, if you don't like this kind of console style combat, then I guess you won't like this game at all. Because this is pretty much what's going on right here.
That one had a bow. Get it?
That one had a bow. Yeah, now we're gonna be equipping a longbow right here. We're gonna be seeing most of the primary weapons. Okay, inventory, weapons, secondary. We just double click on the crude birch longbow and then we have it equipped. The only thing we have to do now is press Q. They really didn't tell me there, but if you press Q, it kind of swaps your weapons from primary to secondary. What comes to the bow, it's quite a decent weapon. You can see there underneath our mana pool we have a quiver and 5 arrows. And the way this works, I'm just gonna break these ones,
Best shoot them before they see us.
is that it kind of works in a... Okay, of course. Obviously the tutorial has to get in here and annoy me a bit. So yeah, arrows are unlimited actually. You can use them as much as you want. But if you use up all 5, then you have to wait for the quiver to refill. That's actually something which breaks immersion a bit. But then again, this game doesn't really try to give you that realism, so it doesn't really matter all that much. If you have a gripe with the arrow refilling, you have a gripe with many other things as well. So two other soldiers. Here we are shown the power attack, which I'm already doing here. You just hold your bow and charge it up, and with that you'll just have a powerful shot, but it takes more time to load up. So, what is down here? There's certainly some loot here to be found. There is something sparkling. As always with sparkling things, you want to go and grab them. Tattered documents, I don't think they're very necessary, but the lockpicks, of course, they're always useful. Especially if you're like me and you're really lazy about the lockpicking and you just auto-lockpick all the time, wasting lockpicks until you maybe manage to open a chest. Then yeah, it's good to have plenty of lockpicks. I really don't like I haven't actually mastered the lockpicking system, so we'll be looking into that later. So yeah, here we get the dagger. The dagger is yet another type of weapon. We need to be equipping it if we want to follow the tutorial, crude iron daggers. And the dagger and one other type of weapon are the only ones which you can use if you want to do a stealth kill, which we'll be introduced to soon enough here. We also get rusty gauntlets. But yeah, I'm not going to be equipping every piece of armor just because it's optimum all the time. That would be pretty painful. Of course, maybe here in the tutorial segment right now, but yeah, as the game goes onwards, I'm gonna be just skipping most of that inventory management and rendering if it's not something very important. Yeah, just to save some time and some space. Nobody wants to see that all the time. Here we have the stealth mode. As you saw there, you go into stealth mode by pressing C, and you have to have a weapon equipped like a dagger in order to do the damages. Like this, kinda kicked his ass, or struck him right in the guts. What does he have? He has a dented cuirass. The dented cuirass is actually much better than what we're using currently, but I'm not even going to be equipping it because it's pretty useless. We're going to be getting into a different kind of section of the tutorial right here soon enough, right there on the right side. Oh damn, I'm moving slowly. That's weird. Oh, too bad the dude sees us right there. Let's try to do some evasive maneuvers. Especially in this point, usually it's not a big problem in this game. But in this particular point of the tutorial, the camera goes berserk, as you saw there. It's pretty annoying. But as always with these games, camera problems are to be expected. They usually are a bit annoying, all in all. But yeah, here we find yet another door. The tutorial is going to still keep on going for quite a while. And next we're going to be introduced to a few new things, such as magic. But I'm going to be cutting this into 2 parts, for the obvious reasons. So yeah, when we get back, we're going to be continuing with the tutorial and perhaps get out of this place once and for all. So yeah,